so now we're going to talk about combinations. This is section 10.6D on page 484. It's a little different from a permutation, but very similar. And this is our combination notation where you have this NCR. But I'm going to read the definition so you know the difference. It says a combination is similar to a permutation, but with one key difference. A combination is the number of ways to select R individuals in any order out of a group of N. So when you're evaluating these in like word problem form, which you will, it will give you a total amount and say how many different ways can you select R amount of people, things, it doesn't matter, out of the total, which is N, okay? The difference between permutation is it is not a particular order. It will not say first, second, or third place, gold, silver, bronze. It will not say president, vice president, secretary. It will not say that. It'll just ask you for how many different ways can you get a number out of a total amount, okay? So here is our formula for our example 10.6D, which what you do is you're going to put N factorial over R factorial parentheses N minus 8 or N minus R parentheses factorial, okay? So how we are going to solve this, if you have a scientific calculator, you can, and you have the button NCR, you can use that button to solve this whole thing. You might have to push 20 and then that button and then 8 and hit equals. That's how you have to do it in the TI-83, the calculator that I have. Or you might just be able to, I don't know how your calculator does it, but if you don't have that button, your iPhone does not have that button, I don't think. It does have factorial button, but it does not have the NCR button, which makes these problems super fast, okay? But so I'm going to show you how to work it out the long way. So this is N factorial, so that's 20. Your formula is on the bottom of 484 if you want to look at that. It's N factorial, then you take R factorial, which is going to be 8 factorial, and then 20 minus 8 factorial, okay? Now 20 factorial, that's going to be 20 times 19 times 18 times 17 times 16 times 15 times 14 times 13 times 12. Now I'm going to stop at 12, and the reason for that is right here, this is going to be 8 factorial parentheses 12 factorial, so that really means you're going to have 8 factorial times 12 factorial. Now, if I stop at 12 factorial, this one will cancel out and I will only have 8 factorial on the bottom, okay? So 12 factorial, I can cancel those out. So now I just have to do 8 factorial, which is 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. All right, now what you want to do is you want to type all of that into your calculator and stop at 13. So you would say 20 times 19 times 18 times 17 times 16 times 15 times 14 times 13, okay? And you can get that total, or if you're doing it in your calculator all in one, you need to use parentheses, okay? So you would say this, and then divided by parentheses that, okay? 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, okay? You cannot type in it without the parentheses altogether, okay? There's 2 ways you can do it. You can multiply this, get your answer, and then multiply this, get your answer, and then divide your 2 answers. You can type the whole thing in, but use parentheses. Parentheses, 20 times 19 times 18 times 17, all the way down to 13, and then divided by 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. And when you do that, you should get 125,970. Look at 10.6e, okay? 10.6e is an example of a permutation word problem. It says the senior class at Westwood High has 60 students. Okay, 60 students. That is going to be our end. That is the total amount of students in the senior class. All right. And the class is preparing to select 4 class officers: president, vice president, treasurer, and secretary. Okay, 4 class officers. That's going to be our R, okay? How many ways could the class select its officers? Now, it's in order, okay? It is presidents, vice presidents, treasurer, secretary. So you're going to have to use permutation. If it does not say any type of order or rank or anything like that, it's just combination. You would use the NCR formula, and that's it, okay? So here we go. Here's our permutation notation. Okay, all right. So our formula, we're gonna set it up. I'm gonna just move it right up here. 60 factorial over 60 minus 4, parentheses, factorial. 60 factorial over 56 factorial. 60 minus 4 is 56 factorial. Now, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, you need to use your factorial button on this one. Okay, so you are going to, because it's factorial over factorial, we can use this button in our iPhone to cut down on a lot of time. We do not want to sit there and do 56 or 50 all the way down to, or 60 all the way down to 1, and then 56 all the way down to 1. But I'll show you if a shortcut, okay? So on your iPhone, you can hit 60 factorial button divided by 56 factorial button equals, and you should get 11,703,240. Okay? Now, if you don't use your factorial button, here's what you do. Okay. 60 times 59 times 58 times 57 times 56. Factorial, stop. Okay? Why are we stopping? Because once we get to 56, we can everything after that is 1. It cancels out each other. You're dividing 56 by 56, 55 by 55. So you don't keep going to 1. So stop right there. And if you type in your calculator 60 times 59 times 58 times 57, you will get the very same answer that I showed you up here using your factorial button. We are going to look at 10.6f, and then we will be finished. And this is an example of a word problem using combinations, okay? So it says the day before Westwood High School class selection, the principal needs 4 of the seniors. Okay, he needs 4, that's going to be our R. Out of the 60 seniors, that is our total. To help set up equipment for the election, how many ways could the principal select the students? Now, notice that it is a similar question as in your previous example, but it is not asking for a rank or an order. It's not asking for president, vice president, treasurer, anything like that. It's just saying how many ways could he select 4 out of 60. That's when you know you use combination, okay? And this is your notation. So what is our formula for this combination? So we're going to do 60 combination, and we need 4. So the top is 60 factorial over 4 factorial minus 60 minus 4, or times 60 minus 4 factorial, which is going to be 60 factorial. 60 minus 4 is going to be 56. So 4 factorial times 56 factorial. Now, we are going to evaluate this. If you're not using your calculator, if you don't have this button, this is how we're going to do it, okay? We are going to write 60 times 59 times 58 times 57 times 56. Stop, okay? Why? Because everything, we are going to cancel out this 56, okay? So now we're just going to have 4 factorial times 56 factorial. This is going to cancel. And now you're going to have 60 times 59 times 58 times 57, stop, over 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. Now you can use your factorial button down here, but you don't want to use it here because we're not doing 60 factorial anymore. We're stopping at 57, okay? So, calculate that out. 60 times 59 times 58 times 57. Use your parentheses when you're typing this into your calculator. Divided by parentheses 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. And you should get 487,635 ways he can select 4 students out of the 60 at any given random order.